change climate as we know it and use a real nuclear bomb for the movie. I think for the purpose of art, he should. Hear me out. You want historical accuracy, correct? So you got to get the right explosion. You got to get the correct mushroom cloud.
From Mr. Broke Productions, in an association with Maximillionaire and Vice City Kingpin, present to you Life on Easy Mode. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
One. All right. What's going on, everyone?
Hello.
How y'all doing? Miguel, what time is it?
It's Adventure Time. Oh.
Actually, 1 p.m.
Yeah, but we're sponsored today by our great guests here over at High Noon Sun Sips. So let me tell you all about the great products for our first sponsor here today. High Noon has many flavors. We got watermelon. We got, what other flavors do they have?
Kiwi.
Pineapple, passion fruit.
We got watermelon sugar, grape juice. So yeah, no, okay.
Did you not follow my joke?
I said watermelon. You said kiwi, grape juice.
Oh.
Come on,
bro.
You literally wore dresses.
Well, I thought we were actually talking about the fucking drink. I was like, there's passion
our actual
fruit in
sponsor.
there.
Yeah, no, we're not sponsored yet.
We're not sponsored.
It would be nice if High Noon wants to sponsor us. By all means, go ahead because he drinks, I think, cartons at a time. So I think we'd be good for
Bang energy. This guy drinks Bang energy every day too. Come on.
Spills it as much as he drinks it too.
Facts.
Yeah.
What? What was that?
I don't know if y'all heard that, but there was some outside my window.
People.
Definitely a celebration of sorts, I imagine. Oh, they're having like a patio party or some shit. All right, ignore that. We're here today with another episode. We got some stuff to talk about, some interesting stuff. I have no idea what we want to start off with. If anyone wants to go first with what, because I think each of us have topics we want to talk about. We can go first with whatever.
Let's get monkeypox out of the way.
All right, let's do it. So, I guess monkeypox is spreading. I will be 100% honest. I'm a dweller under a rock, and I don't follow news. So, Miguel, do you want to...
I'm also a dweller under the rock, but...
Apparently it's spreading.
I want to talk about it because there's one case in Pawtucket right now.
Oh, wait, there is?
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, that's not good.
So for those living even under a bigger rock, monkeypox is basically like a variation of chickenpox.
It's just another chicken. It's like COVID. It's like another flu.
Except
SARS.
Not as
deadly. It's not.
Well,
it's not. It's not deadly. It is contagious.
Mm-hmm.
Not as bad,
mm-hmm.
but it's still spreading, and you don't want to get that shit. It makes you look not great.
It's like chickenpox where you get like bumps all over your body, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. Only they're not like the red pussy ones. They're like kind of like
black.
They're black, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Black.
Where did this originate from? What country do they know? Because is this something that's been like around for a while and just started spreading, or is this like a really recent?
What happened was
virus?
It spread because hold on.
As he looks up and types it in his little screen typewriter.
It was discovered in 1958.
Okay, so this is an old one.
Yeah.
Okay.
In a colonies of monkeys kept for research.
I wonder why they called it.
Monkeypox.
Yeah.
Where? Like where is this?
It says Africa. It doesn't say which specific country. Oh, here it is in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Okay, so the DRC. Damn.
First unidentified in humans in 1970. So it's been around, but it hasn't been like as big of a problem, I guess.
So it's kind of similar to COVID in a way, because COVID was technically around for a while and just really exploded.
Okay,
the last few years.
well,
the SARS,
Yeah, basically,
right, yeah.
And it's just like a form of SARS, correct?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly. So, damn, Space Chimps really did a number after that movie was released in 2009.
Yep.
Look at the world now. I am tight and I am
Space
strong, but no one wants to
Chimps,
sing along. Throws a
Space
banana.
Chimp.
Apparently, what is like is the world doomed or something? Like what's
No, I mean.
Apparently the WHO, not the
who
band,
who
but
put it as a global
World
emergency.
Health Organization.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the Baba O'Reilly singers, but apparently they made it a global emergency.
Yep.
But I don't think it's gonna be like quarantine-esque. I don't think it's gonna.
It's not
get to
as
there.
deadly as COVID.
No.
Well, that's good.
The only thing is like, yes, it spreads. Yes, it does not make you look attractive.
But
There's
it's
a whole other meaning to blackheads.
Yeah.
It's not a fun thing to have.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
how long does it last for? Is like a few weeks, I think.
To 2 to 4 weeks, it says.
Yeah. So, but I mean, like, I was reading how it spreads too, and apparently, like, it's also it spreads through like touch, like saliva, but it also
Like saliva swapping, right? Kind of.
it also spreads through sexual contact.
Okay.
So that is also another thing that's different from obviously like most diseases really, if you really have it and it's liquid based, it will. If you have sexual contact with someone, of course, yes, there is a possibility that can happen. But this is mostly can be contributed to sexual contact too. So
be safe out there, Gian.
Keep your bums safe, guys.
So you two really got to watch out. I'm fine, I guess, in this aspect. So you know what?
Yeah, there's people thirsting.
So go me. I'm safe. I don't got to worry about the pox.
I got to duct tape my butt.
There you go. Don't get pegged anymore, Gian.
That was a one-time thing. I think we're fine. I think if we keep our hands clean, we keep ourselves safe.
It does say it does not travel as far as COVID.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
So
it doesn't linger long. Like COVID, like remember when COVID, like that shit first started, the first few weeks, even the month, like I remember like they said like no masks would help too, and like that they said that shit was stayed on surfaces for 48 hours too or something like that, and then like it doesn't even stick to anything anymore. So
yeah, it's just a thing we just gotta deal with now. COVID
I think
will never fully go
as
away.
the months go, we'll get more information. Obviously, like COVID. So I think we should be fine as long as we're. What are the other symptoms? Like, I'm sure it's like flu-like symptoms, probably.
Let me check. I just know those lesions are not fun.
Yeah.
Listen, at the end of the day, just know the person you're fucking and don't touch door handles unless using a paper towel, because that'll be the safest way to be healthy in this world. Yep. So.
All right, fever, the lesions, muscle ache, chills. Those are the main 4. It says.
I'm built different. I'll survive.
That's about it, actually.
So, and then now, how many death cases are there for it? Not a lot, I imagine, right? Because you said it's not really fatal?
No, it's not.
That's good. That's good. We're not going to die.
It's not enough to make a whole data, out of it, but not really.
It's just not enough.
Mm-mm.
So, which is understandable, I guess.
Yeah, because this is like a really recent thing that's been spreading in.
Yep.
It's not a fatal one. It's not as spreadable as COVID, so I guess that's understandable. But, so like something that's like, I mean, I doubt it's going to be like the next like AIDS pandemic where like a very big sexual disease. I think like, historical lessons have taught us to, if there's a sexual disease spreading swap saliva, we have protocol we can follow, things we can do against it. Modern medicine, I imagine, could probably remedy a lot of it. Go into quarantine for a few weeks. So we'll be fine. It's just the media likes to make anything that may be a common process for an organization like the end of the world. Like, okay, the WHO has declared it a national emergency, a global emergency. Okay. Does that mean it's the end of the world? From the looks of it, no. So, I mean, unless this thing mutates into like a super mutant, like nuclear radioactive element that, like, if you get it, your skin's going to turn yellow and you're just going to start melting from the inside out. I doubt that's going to happen, but
you never know.
I think we'll be fine just as long as we keep our hands clean and we keep keep raincoats. So,
you never know though.
I guess that's so much of that.
We can move on. That's all I wanted to say.
Speaking of raincoats, you know what?
Nice try.
I was trying, bro. I was trying. I was like, you know what else people wear next to raincoats? Dresses.
Dressing.
I mean, I can.
A for effort.
Column ranch the way they be dressing.
Bro, exactly. that was funny because we made that joke.
So it's funny you say that.
Cause
last night when we were driving. Okay, we'll get into that. So yesterday, me and Gian did something that we've been wanting to do for a little while now. We've been talking about this for I think a little less than a year, maybe a few months, 6 months, whatever. We're like, what if we just
dressed in
dresses? What if we just bought dresses?
What if you guys
dressed in them, did a photo shoot?
What if we that's our next one.
What if we what?
Dressed in ranch.
But no,
I'd 100% be down.
We ordered like the ranch dressing costume from Amazon.
Oh, I would 100%. Ranch is my all-time like favorite thing ever. I would.
We know.
So yesterday, we did something we wanted to do for a while. We bought dresses at Savers, $11 a piece or $10, whatever, and we went out in the field in Rhode Island and we did a photo shoot in dresses, which I'll display a few images here as I'm speaking. And for basically those who are listening, I had like a nice black, kind of Japanese almost looking dress where I had like the flowers kind of, it looked like a Japanese style dress. And Gian had a
pink blue,
like a very Harry Styles-esque. I knew he was going to go something that like Harry would wear because I'm like, all right, we're at Savers. All right, here's a striped one. Here's pink and blue. You're going to get one of these.
I really wanted to get that white one. It was actually really cool.
Yeah, I think you could have rocked it. But
we'll get it next time.
So yesterday, we buy the dresses. We're with one of our friends, Kenny. Now, Kenny's a great guy, but we had to set up where we didn't tell him what we were going to do for the photo shoot. We just said to him that the reason why we were taking so long to pick him up is because we were eating. So
You should have just been like, you should have like put the dresses in the bag and put them on while you're at the park.
That's what we did.
Oh,
that's what we did. We got dressed at the park.
So they're hanging in my car on like the little like thingy-mabobs.
No, but
like,
you should have hid them.
No, well, this was in plain sight, but this man was so oblivious, he didn't even notice it, but we were giving out hints. He didn't ask why there are dresses in my car.
Kenny comes into the car. We immediately start talking about football because he went to the Pats camp that day.
Yes,
and, like, he's sitting, right? He comes in from the left side, doesn't even look on the right side. He doesn't even notice that the right back window is blocked from, I don't know, dresses because they're hanging from that little thing from the handle. And so he's sitting there talking about, Matt Judon signed his football. He's talking about Mac Jones and all this crap, how he got burnt there. At one point, Gian says to me, he goes, Nikki, do you need any more ranch dressing? We can go to the store. I go, no, I think I'm good. I think Italian dressing would be good. And then we start hitting out the word
Gian,
dress.
do you need any ranch dressing? And I go, no, I think I have some in the back, actually.
So we start making jokes, right? And then Kenny keeps talking about, like, Mac Jones. And I go, hey.
Did he address that?
I go, did he address the nation in regards to this here? And he just didn't get it. And I forget what Gian said. Oh, Gian, eventually, we're just driving, right? He just said, fuck it, just went, Kenny, what do you think about cross-dressing? and Gian, and Kenny goes, what? And then that's when he looks to the right, he goes, what the fuck? And we tried to pull it off for a little bit. I'm like, oh, yeah, just ignore those. Those are his aunt's dresses. She borrowed the car for a few days. And then he's like, are you guys going to wear this? And Gian goes, well, we're not going to wear them in the car.
No, that's what he said. He goes, are you going to wear them in the car? And I go, no. There's a silence. We're going to wear them outside.
Yep. And then as we're driving, and this is like right as we're pulling up right into Chase Farms. That's where we took the photo shoot. And Kenny's sitting there, and he's like, are you guys actually doing this? I'm like, yes, we are. And we get out of the car. We start taking off our shirts. We start putting on the dresses. And Kenny's there sitting there. He's like, I'm not getting out. I go, Kenny, we need a photographer. You get out. He's like, no, I'm not doing this. I go, Kenny, why? He goes, I'm not going to be seen in public. I go, Kenny, there's going to be like all of 4 people here, including us, in this field. If you just take literally 25 minutes of your time to take a photo with us, that's literally all it would take. But he wouldn't do it. So we said, okay. We're going to take the photos ourselves. You can sit in the car. And he did. For like 30 minutes, 25 minutes, he sat in the car. Funniest thing is, if he was smart, he would have gotten out of the car and maybe like gotten some fresh hair.
That was hot.
He sat in the car the whole time. And it was sweltering in there by the time we got out. And he was like, oh, no, I'm not hot. I'm like, bullshit, bro. You got a sunburn to the 9th degree. And you're sitting in a molten car, which thankfully doesn't have leather seats. Otherwise, it'd be over for you.
Yes,
oh, no,
my
it does
car
have
has leather seats.
Oh, my God. Oh, so it was even worse for him. So he was magma. He was Dwayne. For a minute there. So eventually, we took some photos in the dresses, and I don't care what anyone says, we absolutely killed those shits. That was so much fun. I have a few things to say, but I'll let Gian speak from his perspective first, because I do have a few things I want to point out in regards to wearing those dresses. So
I think I know what you're going to talk about too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt pretty.
We were both really pretty.
Gian. Yeah. Harry Styles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I followed his style.
It was fun. I've always wanted to, go out in the order because I, dress above the ordinary. So it was pretty fun. I liked it. Very hot in the dresses. Definitely not. I understand. I give strength to the women that wear those kind of dresses in the heat, especially those kind of cloth lining dresses. Power to you. But yeah, we got them at Savers because if we were to actually go to an actual dress shop, there would be no way we would actually spend any money. We should have just said they were from Gucci.
We should have had like a Gucci little trademark in our comments on Instagram.
But they were from Savers, and Savers is pretty nice, so they pretty cheap looking dresses. Definitely, the photo shoot was very fun. Definitely got some cool looking pics. So, I mean, that's really all I have to say. I had a really fun time wearing them, but if you wanted to talk about that other thing, you can talk about it.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, like, basically bouncing off what you said. 1, it was really hot in those, and they were thin, but they were still really hot. 2, I commemorate any woman who wears those kind of dresses, or just wears dresses in general, because those things are deceiving, right? You got to understand, me and Gian, we're skinny dudes, right? We're not big guys. We're skinny.
I'm skinnier.
I'm a little taller, but we're skinny people. The dress that I got was a large. Granted, I know it's in a woman's size, so it's not as big as a man's large, but it was still a large.
And mine was.
I almost split the thing in half trying to put it on. Like, I could barely get it over my thighs and my ass. Granted, I'm dummy thick. Trying to pull it up and trying to put my arms in the sleeve.
I knew he just wanted to talk about that just so we can tell you how dummy thick his ass is.
Oh, well, I got to give credit where credit is due. And I'm trying to put my arms in the sleeves. I almost split those in half, too. I thought I broke it at one point, and I heard a... And I thought I ripped. And I see a giant
And
hole.
I ripped My pants.
I saw a giant hole on the side, but it's where the zipper was.
Ah.
So, but because if I tried zipping it, I was gonna actually break the dress. The zipper was gonna come flying off, so I couldn't do that. So I literally just took photos kind of like this. It was on this side, so I was like, all right, Gian, just get it from like this, my better half here, if we're gonna take photos. So we got mostly good photos. Again, power to the woman who wear dresses. That shit was tough. We came back here and we're like, all right, we're gonna go in our rooms, we're gonna dress up, and we're gonna come back out. It took us like 10 minutes, and like Gian was like, Nikki, you ready? I'm like, no, not yet. Are you?
Yeah. No. I'm having trouble.
I go, Gian, I think I'm stuck.
Me too.
I'm like, how do I put this on? I'm trying to put it over my head. I keep getting stuck. I keep getting lost in the freaking cloth. Yeah. I take it off. I try to put it in like feet first. That's when like the problem comes in that I think I'm gonna like demolish it trying to put it on. So it was a struggle, but eventually we got it on.
We did it.
And we made it work. So I got a good Instagram photo, and I got a good online dating photos.
Yes,
so I'm proud to rock the dress I wore, and we should do another photo shoot again. I think we get Miguel involved now too. I think you can unironically rock a dress.
No,
would you do it?
Should wear like one of those like Scottish skirts,
like a
kilt.
A kilt.
I would rock a kilt.
I can see you do that.
I'd rock a kilt. A dress, I don't know. I don't think I could fit in a dress, low key.
I mean, they had more than larges. You could probably.
I know, but
all right, what would be like? So my style is going for more like a darker colored dress. If you were to wear a dress, what kind of style would it be? Would it be
I think I would go the same as you. I'd probably go a dark, dark, maybe like navy type.
Oh, okay.
I can see that.
So, would I do it? Maybe 50-50. Who knows?
I think if you do a little more convincing, like, because like we unironically looked good in them. I think you could rock that shit too if you wanted.
I just picture Miguel as a female, and like with lipstick on and with tits,
Yo.
and him in a dress, and Nikki hitting on him.
Bro, take me out first. Jesus Christ.
Miguel's a woman I would unironically try to hit because he's a handsome Chad himself, bro.
All right, let's move on.
Let's hope nobody.
Actually,
what?
Can I say one word?
Wait, yeah, go.
Yo, when I saw your Instagram post, all I thought about is that one scene on SpongeBob. I was like, "Am I a pretty girl?"
I kept saying that too. As soon as I put on the dress, I go up to G. I go, "Am I a pretty girl?"
Yo.
Kenny's comment actually had me laughing. He goes, "Motherfucker's wearing a curtain." But people will not forget about this moment. But there's a lot of people that people have short-term memory loss, so they could forget it. But
oh yeah.
Yeah. So
like our man Lenny, or Leonard as he likes to be called, Leonard
Lenny.
Shelby.
No.
Yeah.
Lenny. Yeah.
He didn't like to be called that because his wife called him that and he hated it.
Yes.
We're talking about Memento. Good transition.
Thank you.
I guess we just wanted to talk about this just because, I don't know, Gian showed it to me last night.
It was Christopher Nolan's birthday. Happy birthday, Dad.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Happy birthday to Christopher Nolan at the time of...
Happy birthday, Christopher Nolan.
Was it last night?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well...
Yesterday was his birthday, July 30th.
Happy late birthday to him.
52.
Probably my favorite director. I love basically every movie I've seen by him. The only ones I haven't seen are Insomnia, Dark Knight Rises, and technically The Following. I read online apparently that's technically his debut film.
Yeah.
It wasn't like major, but like Memento was like his first big movie. So Memento is technically his second movie, I guess.
All right.
So still a great movie for like a second movie. It's really good. So Miguel, have you seen it? No.
I've only seen Tenet, The Dark Knight.
Yep.
And
Interstellar,
Inception,
Prestige.
Well, half of those were like the movie bracket.
Yeah, music bracket.
Yeah.
So
basically, how Tenet goes backwards? That's kind of like Memento. It's like you're literally watching the movie backwards.
Well, because I don't want to spoil it if anyone hasn't seen it, but
I already saw. It's okay. I don't care.
Okay, okay. Let's be. It's a 22-year-old movie.
Okay, fair.
It's not. If
I would
highly, movie,
even when I tell you, I would highly recommend it. It's a very good film. It's short. It's under 2 hours. So
because when we explain, we're still not going to explain everything about it because for like his major breakthrough movie, it's a really good movie, really well done.
Confusing
and
too.
Christopher Nolan was only like I think 30 when that came out. He was like he's still a young man.
Yeah.
And so basically, it's basically this guy. He's trying to solve the murder of his wife.
Yep.
And he basically finds out that it's some guy named John G. Raped and murdered his wife.
That's all he knows. And he has short-term memory loss because he literally forgets after. And I noticed in the movie the second time viewing, it's after like a loud noise or like if he's just wandering into space or he's just and he's not continually talking, he'll forget. And literally, I don't know if it's not amnesia, but like it's definitely short-term memory loss. I don't know if it's that to severity in real life. People might have it.
It's probably based on reality, kind of like how I remember in like Knives Out, there's like That was kind of over exaggerated. That remember, like she has like every time she lies, she pukes.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably like I think this one's a little more realistic
yeah.
because, he had an injury where like the night where his wife was getting raped and murdered, in this bathroom, the guy slammed his head into the glass and he falls on the ground. He's looking at his wife. He goes everything before that he can remember everything. He can remember who he was, where he was born, but like after that he couldn't make memories. He couldn't make new memories. So basically, like he could be talking to someone and sit down with them, and then next thing you know, he doesn't remember that ever happened. So what he does is he takes photos of everything and has it written down. So like in the future, when he does forget something, like when a guy like Teddy knocks on his door, he looks through his photos and sees, oh, this guy's name is Teddy. So, and then like as the movie progresses, or I guess technically backtracks, it's basically a movie of backtracking.
Yep.
You see how when he writes
it goes
shit
forward,
down,
but it also goes backwards.
It goes forward in the beginning, but then like for the majority of the movie, it keeps going back. Like how do you end up here? Or what
the
caused
black
this?
and white
What
is
caused
the
this here?
forward in the color, because if I look it up on IMDb, so he basically named the scenes, the black and white scenes, alphabetically A through Z, and then the colored scenes, I think 1 through however many cuts there are.
Right.
So let's say 26 letters, A through Z, and then 1 to 26.
Right.
So and then by the time, so it's going 26, 25, 24. But the black and white shots are A, B, C, D, and at the end, the Z in 26 or Z in 1 will connect.
Right.
So.
Right. And I mean, okay, so basically, again, we're talking about a 22-year-old movie, so we're not gonna go in depth about what it's about. But basically, just like what's really cool about it is like throughout the movie, the black and white scenes, he's talking on the phone about this guy named Sammy, who like he had like something that the guy Leonard had, where he had some sort of injury and he couldn't make new memories, and like they were testing things on him, like they were doing like I picked 3 shapes. One of the shapes was electrifying. He never learned from it because every time he never remembered, so he would just go for the new one. And his wife, this guy Sammy, didn't believe him, so she was a diabetic. So what she did to really test him out one day, she was going fatal with it, is he was like a doctor, so every like day he had to give her an insulin shot, and so she tried to test it where he was sitting down. She goes, honey, it's time for my insulin shot. He gives her the shot, and when she sits back down, she rewinds her clock on her watch and goes, honey, it's time for my insulin shot. Okay. Gives it to her again, thinks nothing of it. Again, he can't make new memory, didn't realize he just did that. Honey, it's time for my insulin shot. She makes him do that to him until she overdoses.
Because she doesn't believe that.
Because she didn't believe that she believed that he was faking it. She believed that he wasn't really having the short-term memory issue. Mm-hmm. Here's what's really good about this movie. What really happened was Sammy was actually faking. He was actually a phony, and everything that Leonard was remembering is what he did to his wife. So what happened was there was a rape that happened, and he did have a traumatic head injury.
She didn't die.
But his wife survived that, and his wife was a diabetic. And the things he was remembering about Sammy, about injecting the shots into her, that was him actually doing it to his wife, and he doesn't remember his wife as being a diabetic. And he doesn't remember doing that. And so he was misremembering that happening to Sammy, but what happened was at the end of the day, he was the one who killed his wife. Yes. And so what happened was the guy Teddy, who was like a crooked cop, basically, just for lack of better terms, basically helped him get this guy, John G., that killed his wife. But what happened was at the end of the movie, which is technically like the beginning of the movie, when he kills the guy, Teddy basically admits to him that this guy was just someone that Teddy had like an out for against. And
who also happened to be named John G.
John G.
Such a common name.
But Teddy explains to him that you don't remember this, but a year ago, I already helped you kill the guy that did rape your wife, another John G. And he goes, then why'd you make me do this again? Because he goes, because you weren't going to remember your revenge anyway, so I just wanted to help you make you feel good again. That's basically what happened, and that's basically the end of the movie. So, again...
Well, technically that's the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, so...
The beginning of the movie is the end of the movie. Is the end of the story.
Listen, Christopher Nolan, he saw everything about a normal movie of what beginning, middle, and end. Said, all right, fuck this. I'm just going to scramble this up like a Rubik's Cube. And then this is going to be the beginning. That's going to be the middle. That's going to be end. Again, watch it for yourself. I didn't explain it well enough. You just have to watch it. And just keep in mind, you got to pay attention because it is confusing.
Yes.
I still don't fully understand everything that happened, but I get the majority, the gist of it. So I just wanted to talk about that because really good movie. Thank you for showing it to me. It was only because that we couldn't remember Gion's HBO Max login.
Tom couldn't remember his HBO Max
username that's
and
true.
password.
Because we were going to watch American Psycho, and
maybe it's
I
kind of
went a little psycho trying to watch and keep up with Memento. I was like, shit, I think I'm having short-term memory. Like, didn't this just happen? Or I thought it did.
And then as if the night couldn't get any worse, I was playing this horror game.
Oh,
so
Madison.
I just had to quickly because this is still heating me. So there is a part in the game where you have to get a shovel
I was he was sitting right here. I was in tears, like almost rolling on the floor.
At first, we
laughing
were jump scared, so it was a scary game at one point. But then after we got through this part, we came to a section where there's this piece of board that I have to open to get a key, and I was like, okay, why is it not working? And I go, oh, let me go through my item slots, and I only have 5 items, and one of them is a hammer. I go, oh, maybe I have to use the hammer. No, the hammer doesn't work. And I go, well, if this was real life, the hammer would have worked because it's like half open. So I'm looking online, and apparently there's a shovel that you were supposed to get in the game. But the thing is, in order to get this, the part already happened. And so there's a door that when you go through during the game, it's an open world house, but the house forever like changes throughout. Mm-hmm. But basically most parts of the houses are the same. So this red door, probably 20% into the game, when you because the game it's actually really cool. The game revolves around Polaroids, and so when you take the picture, something happens, and you can wave the Polaroid to see if there's something in the picture or something like that. So that's like a big mechanic in the game. So when you take a photo of the red door, is about 20% into the game, the door will open, and there's a well. And when you have to find it's a puzzle game, so you have to find the 3 pieces to open the well. But apparently, there was a shovel that you can also open the well with. But if you use the shovel to open the well, it breaks no matter what. You can get a trophy for this. So I'm like, okay, that makes no sense. So I'm looking. I go, why can I not go back into this room? And the only way that you can get the shovel is if you do that part at the beginning. So basically, it's like cut off. You can never go back to that part. So I'm like, what the fuck? Why can I not get the shovel? So I'm screaming there. Nikki's dying laughing. And I'm like, I'm trying to look online to see how the fuck, because literally all I see on YouTube is like, oh, let me just watch this dude's walkthrough. And I'm like, oh, he's going to pull out the hammer or do something. Or no, this man just pulls out a fucking shovel out there. He goes, oh, let me use my shovel. And I go, what? So I'm like, fucking frustrated. I never think a horror game would make me frustrated.
I look at him, I go, Gene, I think you literally broke the game over a shovel.
But maybe because it was a PC, because it's originally from PC and it's just ported into PlayStation, so maybe something happened and like something fucked up.
Well, what I was thinking of last night is there are some games that are relentless where if you don't do something like beforehand, you'll never finish the game and it's broken. Like for example, Fallout 1, I can't think of specifics, but Fallout 1 and 2, naturally like RPG games.
Yeah.
If you didn't do certain things at the beginning of the game, you weren't going to beat the game. You'd have to start over.
But the thing is,
I don't think Madison's like that because it's a newer game. Newer games usually aren't like that.
There's a trophy that you can get, and that's because the only way to open up the well, you have to. It's like what are those? The locks that you have to turn to get the letters to line up, but it's like a picture thing. I forget what kind. I don't know what kind of locks those are called. It's like a lock thing, but you have to like
kind of ancient English like locks you looking at for a while.
Ancient higher.
Anyways, there's 3 different locks that you have to turn to get to the correct image, and then once you get all 3 of them, you can take a picture of the well with the camera, and the well opens up. But there's a trophy, and it's like a secret trophy that if you actually use the shovel that you pick up in that room, which I cannot access anymore because the door is locked, you break the shovel. And you can no longer use the shovel, and you get a trophy. So I don't understand how the fuck if somebody were to do that if they want to do a 100% complete on the game, how the fuck if they break the shovel and you can no longer use the shovel, go forward into the game? It makes no sense unless maybe. Well, maybe I don't know, but like I mean, it's a quick game. It's only a 3-hour, 4-hour game, but
that's it.
Yeah, oh. If just fully through, yeah.
Oh, so would you say like you're almost done with the game then?
I'm like 50% done with the game. So I mean, like realistically,
you've spent way more than 3 hours on this game because
the puzzles are difficult.
The 1951 dude.
No, God, Hans,
who's
the
a
Nazi.
complete dickhead,
bro.
And then now the shovel.
But they scared the fuck out of me yesterday.
Maybe the shovel's the friends we made along the way.
Maybe the clit is the friends we made along the way. So I just wanted to briefly talk about that because that shit fucking annoyed the hell out of me. And what's funny is you actually brought it up because you even brought it up like, bro, didn't you just talk about how indie games were really better than most horror games? And I go,
Because I'm rethinking my my opinion now.
So that was that. Scary game. Fuck that though. So
I know. I agree entirely. You know what else is scary? You know what else when they saw it falling from the sky and they said, "Fuck that, a nuclear bomb."
Oh boy.
That's right. We're talking about Oppenheimer, which I feel like we should have transitioned to after from Memento.
Yeah, I just had.
But you had to include the Madison.
Just because we played Madison after Memento.
Yeah. So, I guess this is another topic I want to talk about because speaking of Christopher Nolan, he's coming out with a new movie next summer.
Another masterpiece.
It's called Oppenheimer with what's his name? The actor?
Cillian. I can read off
Cillian
the
Murphy.
entire cast.
Cillian Murphy. I mean, you don't have to, but I guess we could talk
cast,
about that too because a Nickelodeon star will be making an appearance in that movie.
Oh, well, Billie Eilish?
Yeah, exactly, bro. You know, from I Never Thought.
Cillian Murphy, the guy who actually plays Papa in Stranger Things, Florence Pugh, Matt Damon, Emily Blunt, Robert Downey Jr.
You are like Papa.
Gary Oldman, Rami Malek.
Gary Oldman's in that? Well, I mean, yeah.
Josh Peck, Jason Clarke, Alden Ehrenreich, Casey Affleck, Ben Affleck's brother. This cast, the guy who plays Roderick in the original Diary Movie Kid movies, and yes, and you remember the elf, the old elf in Santa Claus.
Wait,
the one. Have you ever seen the
Will
Santa Claus?
Ferrell?
No, have you ever seen the Santa Claus with Tim Allen?
Oh yes, yeah.
The teenage elf.
Him?
He's in this movie as well. This cast is just like.
And what's crazy to think
bonkers.
That it's a Christopher Nolan movie with everyone but Michael Caine. How is Michael Caine not in this?
Well, I think that he retired from
acting.
acting.
He retired from acting.
But like they probably filmed like a lot of this beforehand before you retired.
No,
Why couldn't he just get like one little scene?
No.
I mean, he's only like 90.
But there's also actors in here that if I showed you their face, you'll be. If I said their name, you won't know them. But if I showed you your face, you recognize them. But that's like half of the cast.
It's just crazy to think that Josh and Roderick are part of a nuclear holocaust.
Facts.
How do you feel about that? That your childhood stars are now enduring themselves in something so traumatizing and so life changing that it's literally the cause of hentai.
The guy who played the Green Goblin, Amazing Spider-Man 2, is in it too. I don't know. Do you remember that movie?
Oh,
yeah.
From
him. Yep.
The Andrew Garfield one.
Yep. Yep. He's in it. That's half of the cast.
That's just half.
Crazy.
So that's insane. Christopher Nolan literally went all on the budget. All right, I want him. Oh, excuse me. I want him.
And this is going to be like a biopic about Oppenheimer dropping an atomic bomb. That could go. That is such a simple story, unless there's more to it that I don't know. But knowing Christopher Nolan,
we'll find out.
Here's the thing. I feel like as his movies have kind of. Well, I mean, I guess Memento was a real hell of a way to kick off his career. I feel like sometimes as his movies have progressed, he gets like more and more in-depth and intricate and sometimes confusing with it because Tenet,
oh god,
still trying to wrap my head around that.
Still one of my favorite movies though.
Still trying to wrap my head around that. I know that, it's going to be based on historical events, so, there's only so much you can exaggerate, but maybe the story of Oppenheimer, the full story is a lot more in-depth and confusing than we think. It's more than just a guy watched over like the creation of the nuclear bomb was like the founding father of it. Maybe it's more of like there's some philosophy to it.
Psychological movie, like
maybe it's a psychological thriller. I mean, it's definitely gonna be some sort of horror.
I already know that there's gonna be like a time placement, like something's gonna be at the beginning of the movie that's actually in the middle, and then at the end of the movie it's gonna be like something from the beginning.
It could be like The Prestige too, where it's not really like it's based on real life up to a point. Or
I don't know if he would do that.
Actually, that's a good point because Prestige had Nikola Tesla in it, but like the things that happened in that movie were like obviously heavily over exaggerated.
True. I mean Dunkirk. I mean, obviously the story of Dunkirk itself about the 400,000 men who try to escape the beach is real. The events in the movie unfolding, I don't know if that's 100% historically accurate.
Do we know if like the two main characters from the Prestige are they based off real characters or are they just their own?
Fake.
No.
So it's fictional characters in a non-fiction world, whereas something like this, it's based directly on like real people. I think it's gonna be a little harder to do that, so they're probably gonna be more a little historically accurate than the Prestige. So that's what I'm thinking.
He
like
just goes in time. He just goes back in time.
Imagine Oppenheimer just goes back to like the 1800s, goes to Japan, be like, listen guys, I'm so sorry.
He's behind a bookshelf,
bro.
Murph.
I'm excited for it.
God.
Apparently, right? Is it still going? The trailer just nonstop on a live stream on YouTube.
The IMAX trailer. When I went to go see the movie Nope, which is amazing, by Jordan Peele, when all the trailers roll, because actually it's not Warner Bros. Who's sponsoring his movies anymore, it's Universal this time.
Damn.
But his own company, Syncope, that he's one of the co-founding fathers for, is the second production. But Universal, because Nope is a Universal Pictures movie, right before the movie played, after all the credits are done and they could say the exits are this way and that way, they played the IMAX like 30-second to a minute trailer that's online right now. But the thing is, when we watched that, there was a counter that was happening. And at that moment, at that exact time that we were watching that counter is when the movie is going to be released. And as of now, on Universal's page, 3 days ago, they officially released the trailer online publicly. It's on repeat, but the timer is going down from 11 months, blah, 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 until July 23rd, 2023. So I don't know if Universal is going to be... Right now, it's only like, what, 190 people watching it right now. But like, I don't know if this man's is really doing it until the release date or until the second trailer comes out. But, I mean... And apparently, so the movie is going to be shot, as far as we know, black and white IMAX photography. But there's also rumors that, like, the explosions and some other things, like in Schindler's List, like how that girl was, that little girl was red. The explosions, some things are going to be in color. But I'm very excited.
Kind of like how in, like, Love and Thunder, it's like the one scene where, like, they, like, light up, and that was color in black and white. That's going to be... I low-key really like that effect. So I hope they utilize that.
Especially with IMAX photography, though, like...
Now... Christopher Nolan has been known to use real-life props in movies. So hear me out. So in Tenet, he crashed a real plane.
$200 million.
Yeah. That's where, like, all the budget went for Tenet. And I know in Interstellar that they actually did travel to a real galaxy that did manipulate time. He goes, all right, guys, we got 1 hour. We're going to be back in 7 years. So they did go to a real galaxy.
Obviously, yeah.
So with this movie, we got to wonder, will Christopher Nolan change climate as we know it and use a real nuclear bomb for the movie? I think for the purpose of art, he should. Hear me out. You want historical accuracy, correct? So you got to get the right explosion. You got to get the correct mushroom cloud.
He hates CGI. Well, I mean, he obviously, when he uses CGI in a film, you can't escape certain things in a film without CGI. You have to use CGI. So whenever he has to use CGI, he uses it. When there's a part in the movie like, oh, we don't have to use CGI, we can use like physical props, but then green screen that out. Yes, like remember, like the Batmobile, all real, all explosions, all real. The Batwing from The Dark Knight Rises, except when it's flying over the cities, is on an actual wheelie thing, but it's just cut out. Interstellar, it's all small models, and then in Inception, the one big thing that really got the Oscar is obviously the when they're falling in slow motion, that's real. But that hallway scene when the elevator is like going in slow motion and the thing is turning, that's an actual set. That thing is actually rolling. Yeah.
That right there costs a few million.
He uses practical effects, and that's why I really appreciate him. Dunkirk, all real battleships, all real dogfights and aircrafts. He literally
real Harry Styles.
He literally hooked up an IMAX camera to an airplane. He goes, "Okay, go."
Just fly around, do what you want.
Part of me, this will never ever happen in a million years, but God, a part of me wishes they just give him like a space in Nevada and just said, okay, here's an atomic bomb.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, we need historical action. I think he should just be like, call up Biden and be like, listen, listen, you're not going to use it anytime soon. Russia's really not going to attack. Let me use just one, sir. Just one.
The movie is still filming. We don't know the budget of the film as of yet.
If he uses a real bomb. Or he's definitely going to use real explosions of sorts.
When we know, yes. So I think he's going to mix real explosions with CGI to make it look real and effective if he uses an actual atomic, like is seen in the movie. Once we know the actual, if this movie is over $250 million to $300 million budget for a biopic about Oppenheimer, because actually the cast, like the main four, Robert Downey Jr., Matt Damon, Jack Quaid, and Cillian Murphy, and I think Florence Pugh were all respectively supposed to earn $20 million from this movie, but they only took $4 million because of they were like, you know what, we don't need the full $20 million. We'll take $4 million.
$16 million go for each of them.
Who knows? So, I'm very excited. We have to wait a year, but that's Christopher Nolan. He makes a movie every 2 to 3 years, and he's not like every director who just spits out movies. He literally takes 2 to 3 years to make a film.
Yeah, that's what I like, because like with a lot of directors, maybe it's because they've been around for so long, they have like 40 movies to list. It's like, holy crap. But then with Christopher Nolan, he has a consistent schedule. Like since his debut of The Following, every 2 to 3 years he has a new movie that comes out. So and I like it because like it's not too many. It's not like a new movie every year.
And you get excited for after each one.
Right.
Like
so.
He hasn't had the only film that's like his weakest is Insomnia, but that's like a murder mystery with Al Pacino and Robin Williams. But like that's like his weakest film, but it's still a good film.
Right, you compare that to a lot of other films by a lot of other directors as their best work, and it's probably still better than theirs.
Yeah. So like, and like he's just made like amazing films after amazing films, and like it has not ceased to. Every time I go into a Christopher Nolan movie, I'm always high expectations, and my expectations are always blown away. Right. Every single time.
Can we also talk about how Interstellar is canon in the MCU universe?
It is. It is canon.
And it has better explanation for time theory.
But wait, that doesn't make any sense because Matt Damon is in Thor: Love and Thunder, but Matt Damon is the guy on the planet. Wait, who else is in the MCU that's in the Interstellar?
Star Wars is technically canon in the MCU too.
Wait, why? How?
Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, but wait a minute. That means Natalie Portman
and Samuel Jackson.
Bro.
I'm telling you, if one day when Marvel runs out of ideas to like make the next big movie, they're gonna start colliding with like DC or Star
Marvel
Wars.
Marvel versus DC, bro.
No, Marvel versus Star Wars. That would be a hell. I would actually like the universes collide, and like and then they have to get together because one boss is about to take over all the universe.
Yeah,
he's
Palpatine.
He's like powerful, more powerful than Thanos, Palpatine, whoever, and like they have to get together and stop. Like Spider-Man's working with like Obi-Wan to like this, but I guess then. Who would actually win, a Jedi Master or a Marvel superhero?
It depends on who.
Like, let's say, for example, Thor against Obi-Wan.
Realistically, if we, like, dumb it down, a Jedi Knight is basically someone with, like, a laser sword and, like, psychic abilities.
That can, and keep in mind, that laser sword can cut through literally anything.
Anything. So it just depends on, like, who we are fighting, I guess.
Right, but I'm thinking, like, what if, like, Thor, right, you know, he tries to charge Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan just, like, cuts through his shield and just stabs him, and that's the end of the fight right there.
End of the movie.
Boom.
Boom. Done.
That'd be really good, actually. I'd be interested to see that. So, but we all know obviously Batman would beat all of them because Batman for some reason does not ever die.
I mean, the way 2022 is already going. Yes, tomorrow's gonna be August of the recording date of this, so time is going very fast. But apparently, Christopher Nolan created fucking time. So every single fucking movie he's made, he always has to have time.
Dude,
to
could you imagine if Christopher Nolan was Father Time?
I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I actually would not be surprised.
It would be 2022, and then we'd be back in 1970,
Bro,
like tomorrow.
Like Tenet, like I don't know, like 2020 hasn't even happened yet, according to Tenet times.
And like 2020 only happens after monkeypox, which causes coronavirus, and then that's when the pandemic happens. You were born actually as a 14-year-old, and then the next day you're a baby, but then you're an old man. Then you die, but then you come back. That if Christopher Nolan was Father Time, that's how it would work out. And then just remember that Michael Caine would always be there too.
And Hans Zimmer. Well, Hans Zimmer hasn't been for Tenet. He didn't do the music for Tenet.
Yeah, Travis Scott said he was all like.
Yeah, so we'll see about who's doing the music for this time. But
kids.
yeah, I'm very excited. Christopher Nolan, probably one of my favorite director of all time, and I will be very happy when this movie comes out. We're gonna see an IMAX day one, and then Barbie right after.
Oh yeah, Barbie. We're literally making a day of it.
But the funny thing is, like, the Barbie director Greta Gerwig has actually made really great films. So
Barbie.
My expectations are so goddamn low for this movie, but the director's history makes me question: is this gonna actually be a really good fucking movie?
It's like a really intense, like psychological romance drama.
Well, she made dramas that was like won Oscars, like with she'd worked with Timothée Chalamet, like Little Woman, the remake, Lady Bird. She's made like Oscar nominated films. And
like you find out that like the reason why like Ken's been like avoiding Barbie, she's actually a secret CIA agent. And like at the end he proposes to Liz Lovetter on like the battlefield.
Fucking Ryan Gosling, bro.
Pulls up in like the pink Mustang, you know.
Is there anything else? I feel there was, what did I want to talk about? I actually had something in my head. What did I want to talk about? I have to think. Hold on, wait. Oh my god, I don't remember.
We're on Apple, Spotify.
All right, fine. We're done. We're ending. Fine. I'll do the closing. We are on Amazon, Spotify,
Private Beach.
Your dad.
We're
on your dad.
We're on
TikTok.
We should have a TikTok.
We should.
We're on everything that's in the link below. Check our Instagrams out to like our photos. Our Instagrams are down below to get some love for us in dresses because only real men wear dresses. Only the manliest of men wear dresses.
We should start our own clothing merch, just dresses.
I have an idea. Gucci. Perfect.
Gucci.
Boom. That'd be the name of it. Perfect.
Perfect.
Facts.
Let's go.
We can never get sued.
I got another one.
Wait.
Louis Vuitton.
Ooh.
Now hear me out. Hear me out.
What?
What if we did something that was like above normal? We called it supreme.
Or you know, like an off-white type of thing.
Right, but there's a very little bit of red.
Yes.
What if we did like kind of like a California-based clothing line, Hollister?
I love that name, Hollister.
Yeah.
Write all these down. Why is no one thought of these?
What about we call it Pacific Sunwear? PacSun for short.
I'm dumb. I actually did not realize that.
Me too. I was like, what the fuck?
I have no idea that's what it meant. PacSun? I thought it was just PacSun. It's Pacific Sunwear?
Yeah.
Well, what if we just take the Ific and Wear out of the PacSun? Ific Wear. That's the name of our clothing. Ific Wear.
What if we bought an ocean and called it the Pacific?
What if you just bought a bomb and dropped it for a movie? Boom. Okay, Miguel, we've been talking long enough. You haven't really said much this episode, so give us a long, in-depth speech about how you were destroyer of worlds. Miguel Oppenheimer.
So I started with Thanos, and then I went to Darkseid, the DC villain, okay? And then, you know, I just made him make out while I just, you know, pow, pow, pow. And then, you know, I destroyed their world.
Wait, I have to actually intervene. Did you just make like a sexy fantasy of Thanos and Darkseid?
Shit, find out.